I'm Joe Hornady. You might say accuracy is my business. I make bullets.
You are listening to the Hornady Podcast.
Thanks for joining us and enjoy the show.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for tuning into the Hornady Podcast. I'm your host, Seth Swerczek, and today an exciting episode because it is all things 2026 new products. And to talk about them, we've got the Director of Marketing, Neil Davies, to my left, and then across the table, Assistant Director of Engineering, Joe Thielen, special guest, Vice President, Jason Hornady. Guys, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks, Seth.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, and you should be happy to be here, Jace, because we did this one podcast a year ago or more where we talked about kind of the black ops of new product development, and it was discovered that you thought you were part of the ops, not part of the black, that we were hiding stuff, and so we brought you into the fold. Now you're in the ops portion, so no more black ops hiding.
I don't know how the hell I was ever not in the ops or the black part.
I don't know. 7PRC happened, and I thought you were part of the black, not the ops. I don't know. Anyway, we've got some pretty exciting new products. It's a great year. It's a fun time of year because new product innovation, when you're a user of the product, when you're a hunter, when you're a shooter, when you're a competitor, we love to see new things. And we've got a great lineup, and we're going to go through the whole lineup. And throughout the podcast, I'll mention to the listener when we have dedicated episodes. So there will be some products in here that we talk about that we don't go super deep on, but we're going to in a separate episode that you'll find here on the channel. And to start us off, the first one in the Hornady security line, a digital ammo cabinet. And this thing, designed, engineered, made here in the USA. It's 18 inches by 18 inches deep and 40 inches tall, so a perfect cabinet to store ammunition, powder, primers, that kind of smaller stuff. It's got a digital lock on it. Really just a universal little small but convenient security box.
Yeah, put it on the wall, put it on your shelf or on your bench or whatever it's made for.
People underestimate how much they can have invested in a box of ammo, a case of ammo, powder,
components,
etc. Yeah. I mean, a box of ammo runs anywhere from the least expensive I'm aware of in centerfire right now is about $12.99, and the most expensive, if you get into some of the dangerous game stuff, is in that $70 range.
Oh, it's more than that.
Yeah, well, and I'm just talking about mainstream.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you start getting into even more. You get into some of the Weatherbees and some of those
nitros.
Yeah, the Nitro Express stuff is $100 a box, $120.
And so it's just one of those things that gives you an opportunity to just a little bit of protection. American made, it's the right size. We feel like the price is right. It's going to be about a $269 ring, which is not super expensive, but just offers you some protection to keep people with sticky fingers from walking away with your stuff.
Yep. Which, you mentioned the reloading component thing. Yes, ammo obviously getting more expensive. Copper and lead seem to, obviously they drive the cost of ammo. So a case of ammo, what used to be $250 a case is now $500 or $400 a case. An 8-pounder of H4350.
Yeah.
380,
450.
now.
Yeah, $400 depending on where you get it. If it's on sale, if you have to pay the hazmat, the $200 8-pound kegs are
gone.
Non-existent.
They're gone.
So primers are 10 cents a pop. You put 2,000 or 3,000, primers in there, or a couple 8-pound kegs of powder, and it adds up.
A couple sleeves of match bullets will be somewhere in that $300 to $400 range real quick too.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, like you said, versatile, security, convenient. I don't know if this was intended to or not, but the height is about right. If you wanted to mount a top to it, get two of them and put a little bench top on there, you could have a little workbench. And then a new line of some security stuff here in the Hornady security line are DigiVaults. These things they're small, they're convenient, digital keypads, got that barrel key access, comes with the cable if you want to shackle it to something. We've got, kind of a smaller size. You could fit, cash, a small pistol, something like that, a 1-gun, and then we've got a 2-gun. It's got a removable shelf in there. Again, just kind of rounding out just the security line. There's no reason not to secure your valuables, whether that's cash or firearms or whatever.
Yeah.
Yep. And go ahead, Neil.
Oh, I mean, it's in the Hornady security line too.
Right.
So obviously you have a sister company, SnapSafe, but now there's some other options in the Hornady security line for some similar type products, but just aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah.
And the function is improved, everything else about them.
They're not nearly as ugly as any of the other stuff we ever used to make or the competitors used to make. And that was one of the challenges. Like, I don't want to have something that's so ugly I won't put it on my bench where my friends can see it. And these are good looking, extremely safe and secure. And they're in that $139 to $169 price range, which is very reasonable for security wherever you want it.
Absolutely. Yep. Made of that 16 gauge steel. Like you said, the digital aspect, they look nice. And yeah, for prescription pills or cash or whatever that you need to make sure is safe, putting it on top of the refrigerator is not a secure place. So these great price point. And the last one here in the Hornady security line, Neil, you mentioned, SnapSafe. This is a similar product that we've had in the SnapSafe line for quite some time. It's a TrekLite lock box. Now, the TrekLite is a really impact-resistant polycarbonate, and it is a fraction of the weight of steel. Yeah. So if you are, traveling with a handgun, like when I travel with my handgun, I'm flying, this is what I use to secure my handgun and go through. It's got a TSA lock on it. It's lightweight, so you're not chewing up poundage in your check bag, but it is secure. Comes with the steel cable if you wanted to adhere it to something like that. But we just updated the look, updated the color stay, got the right size. It's really a nice little piece.
Yeah, and like if you need to lock stuff up in your house, you got little kids, or most importantly, it's when your kids bring over their friends.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to have places to lock your stuff up.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Just avoid any issues that might come about.
Yep.
And
just keep sticky fingers away from things.
Sticky fingers away. Little inquisitive minds and hands. It's a good choice. So having options to store stuff in different rooms or wherever you have it. Some of the security options we have are extremely robust. Some are just to, again, keep somebody away from it with no tools necessary. Right. We just want to keep kids out of stuff. So the TrekLite's great for that, and obviously for traveling. Huge for traveling.
And people totally underestimate the things that you may want to lock up in your hotel room, and lots of hotels certainly have safes, but your prescription drugs, your passports,
cash.
extra cash, a little bit of jewelry, and this, if you wanted to, you can take the cable along and literally anchor it to the bed, but otherwise just having it there where you know that it's locked up, somebody's going to have to go to the effort of taking the whole thing if they wanted to steal that stuff, whereas if it's just tucked in the bottom of your suitcase, it could disappear and you don't know until you're trying to leave. And just really a good opportunity to have something super light to travel with. And don't forget, if you're traveling abroad, most countries make you have ammo in locked boxes. So
that's what I was going to rave. This is going to be perfect for putting a couple boxes of ammo in there.
Yep.
Great.
Yep. And it really all comes down to, not just with this product, but all of the security products, it just comes down to being responsible.
Yep.
Awesome, guys. That really rounds out the security lineup for 2026.
The 338 Advanced Rifle Cartridge. Purposefully designed for hard-hitting subsonic performance, the 338 ARC delivers 1.5 times more energy than the 300 Blackout Subsonic. Featuring the 307-grain Sub-X bullet in the Subsonic line and the 175-grain hollow point in Hornady Black. The big little cartridge that packs a punch. The 338 ARC from Hornady.
Now pivoting completely from security products to reloading. Mm-hmm. And that's something that, we say it here internally that, the bullets make the H, very, symbolic of the Hornady H with the bullets in the pillars of the H there. It's what we do. Nobody makes bullets like Hornady. And to complement that, you got to have reloading tools. And we've got a really nice lineup of reloading tools and bullets for that reloader. I'm going to start with the reloading tools because you're going to see, the listener's going to see, more presence on the podcast of our reloading team. We've got Jason Slinkard, the general manager of the tools division, and a couple of his engineers. They have been really, really good in the last 18 months or so of hyper fixating on how can we improve the reloading experience. Not just some Me Too tools, not just another set of dies or whatever. These are incredibly innovative tools that make the reloading process faster, more accurate, and more enjoyable. And we've got, that 3-in-1 trimmer that we announced last year. That thing has been a home run product.
Awesome.
For anybody that's used it. And if you are a reloader, you need one. It makes one of the more tedious problems, I'm going to call it, in reloading, not so much of a problem. So moving to reloading tools, we've got a couple of them that are innovative, they're exciting this year, and one shameless plug is the announcement of our 12th edition of the Hornady Handbook of Cartridge Reloading.
Who's the editor of that?
What's
that guy's name?
Yours truly. And editing a book of that size is something I'd never done before. Hadn't really edited anything outside of couple 2-3 page article. So this was a substantial amount of work, but the team in the lab that collected all this data, we expanded bullets, new bullets, a ton of new propellants, new cartridges.
How many new cartridges do you have?
Oh,
you know?
boy. Off the top of my head, I could think of probably 6 off the top of my head, but it's more than that. Yeah.
And just the bullets, I mean, some of the powders. I was doing a new products presentation today, and somebody said, how many new cartridges? And I was like,
Just this year?
I mean, just in the last 3 years, the number, I mean, PRCs, ARCs, Creedmoors, GTs,
400 Legends in there.
25 Creed.
New bullets, sub-X's, eld-vts.
I was going to say, those are going to be the big ones, or the bullets.
So that
and the new powders.
The new propellants.
Yeah, Aeromatch, right? Yeah.
Updated modern propellants.
Yeah, the Winchester line of stay-ball propellants that are actually available, that's in there. So if you're a reloader, if you're an advanced hobbyist or a beginner, doesn't matter. That 12th edition out there, tons of new data, a fresh new look to it. So that's out there. Now getting to the tools, the actual hardware, the first one, the Lock and Load Classic Pro. Now from the outside looking in, it's going to look just like the Lock and Load Classic to most people. That's because that's at the heart of it. So let's talk about what we did to really enhance the Lock and Load Classic Pro. Now for the listener, all these reloading tools are going to be outlined in very great detail in a separate episode dedicated to tools. But the Lock and Load Classic Pro, it's got the Lock and Load Classic at the heart. What else makes this different?
Die caddy for one. Let's see, brass bushings. It's got a grease zerk and an oil groove that's in there that keeps it from escaping out the top. Which to me, honestly, that's a big improvement that I'm happy to see.
The lubricant piece in the bushings.
That's a big one.
100%. Absolutely.
Yeah, and what the bushings do is those just remove any play or any, I hate to say slop in the standard classic style presses. Any of those old style presses, if you feel them, there's just a little bit of, that's partly how you can make them affordable.
And their machining is tolerance.
Tolerance stacks, and so this has almost none. There has to be a little or you wouldn't be able to move the handle.
Right.
Sure. But between taking that out, adding the grease zerk and the oil pocket behind it, there's a competitor of ours that might have a green color. They have a grease zerk in there, and the grease actually it's a home to nowhere or a bridge to nowhere. There's nothing behind it. If you squirt your grease in there, it's going to pop the zerk out of the press, and that's just kind of putting lipstick on a pig. But this is all functional, and it's built for guys who are reloading. You put your powder measure on the die caddy, you put your extra dies up there. It just makes it adds some features that make it more fun.
Yeah, it goes to 11.
Yep.
It's significantly better, too. For any reloader that has one of these O-style presses, if you grab the handle and just wiggle it like you're checking sure your manual transmission's in neutral, you're going to feel an incredible amount of movement in there. And like you mentioned, you have those tolerances. That's how you can make it affordable. What we did here, you take a casting, and a casting's got a tolerance of like plus or minus 40 thousandths of an inch. It's this huge tolerance there. Well, we have referenced index points that are machined and then machined parallel to the other side of the press. That allows us to have dead true surfaces. We put in the self-lubricating brass bushings. There's no more wave washers. These things are tight, and there is 85 to 90% of that little wobble is gone. You're going to have that stainless steel ram. It's going to go up true. You're going to have concentric bullet seating. It just makes the whole thing operate easier, smoother, and more precise.
Yep, going back to you're making it easier, quicker, and more efficient to do reloading.
Yep. And nobody, well, I don't know about nobody, but I would say very few pull the handle on a single stage press more than our accuracy lab. Downstairs, we are hand loading bullets to test accuracy every single day, 40, 50, 60 tests a day. And those presses have been worn out and rebuilt many, many, many times. And the addition of that grease zerk with that oil relief cut so that grease has a place to go and that stainless steel ram can pick it up as it needs it, it's going to be a huge improvement when you're pulling the handle thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of times. So that's a big one. The next reloading tool is one of those that once you've used something like this, you'll wonder why you did it any other way in the past. It's very similar to our 3-in-1 trimmer where this is the way to do it. It's fast, it's efficient, and it's accurate. And I'm talking about the VersaPrime bench priming tool. This one, in the last couple of years, this style of product has really come on strong. 10 years ago, you really didn't see this. Most folks were priming on the press or using a hand priming tool. But talk to us about the Versa Prime bench tool. This thing, it's accurate. You want that primer set 2 thou below flush, and then you want to do 500 cases, this is your guy.
Yep. So I would describe this thing as a industrial grade precision priming tool. I mean, is that fair enough?
Yeah.
And you can prime volume on it. It's ergonomic. And the feature that I like the best is I can adjust the depth of my primer. So I like to put so much crush on the primer, and you can set it exactly with this tool to the thousandths of an inch. And that's just it's a feature that I don't think is used or talked about or out there available.
And then it's repeatable.
Yeah, and it's fast.
It's a mechanical hard stop. It goes to the same depth every single time.
So I really like that. And then the wheel for feeding them, you call it a rhythm. Like you get into a flow or a rhythm, and you can just feed cases, index primer, in, out, and it's quick, and you don't gotta wear your hand out. It's got a nice lever with mechanical advantage. It's just a very nice.
And it's built like a tank.
It's built like a tank.
Built like a tank. It's extremely safe, and using hand priming tools. Every time I even look at them, I go, it's like a medieval torture device, and this thing is just simple. It's simple. It's very effective, and it kind of is a continuation. All these are a continuation of what our philosophy on reloading equipment has changed to. And it used to be 10 years, 20 years ago, you got to come up with a way to make it as cost effective as you can. And we're not looking at stuff like that anymore. You look at our trimmer. It's a $600 trimmer. That's a lot for a trimmer. I mean, you can buy lots of trimmers for way less than that. But all these tools now, we want them to be functionally cool. Yeah. And on the trimmer, it's got the fastest input-output of cases going into a trimmer out there, period. This thing, with the priming, it is so fast, it is so safe, and the adjustability makes it just so functional that once guys use it, they're just kind of like, huh. And if we can get the guys in engineering and the guys who are on various shooting teams to use them, that's when I look at everybody and go, okay, we finally have something. Yeah. Our guys are using it, and they're using it regularly. Same with the Classic Pro. Just adding a couple things, taking out that play. Now they all move to the lab, and those guys think that they just got a new car. Yeah, so
absolutely.
That's the way you want it to be. And if it's good enough for the guys in the lab, then that's when you take it to the consumer and go, okay, guys, we got it. Because they can have anything they want. Because like you said, they're pulling the handle more than I would bet anybody.
Yeah, a lot of safety features are incorporated into this just through the design. You have a shield around the primer tube, and then the primer feeding disc. The primers are all spaced out individually. They can't get together, so it's just inherently safe.
Right.
That's a big one.
In a catastrophic event, if there was a primer detonation, there's no way for that primer then to link to the next primer or ignite the whole tube. And controlling it using that big block of aluminum where everything's milled out of one solid block, there's just a lot of material there. Obviously, that's made right here in the USA, just a couple miles from where we're sitting, which is a big deal, large or small, right or left-handed, and it mounts to the same hole spacing as your powder measure or your press or anything like that.
And you can literally switch from large to small in a minute. With those 4 little screws in the Allen wrench, top comes off. I mean, I just did it again today, and it's very handy from going large to small. So personally, I would get 2 of them, and I'd have large and small set up.
Yeah,
but
we think they should. Everybody should.
I agree with Joe.
I agree. But if I'm just saying, if a consumer is probably going to ask us, well, I wonder how long it takes. This thing's built like that. How long does it take to swap it over? And it's fast.
Quick.
That's like 35 minutes, right? Just buy 2.
Just buy
2. Yeah, 35 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, realistically, there's probably a place for that when you talk to these really high volume loaders that are competing at a very high level.
Absolutely.
They're practicing. They're going to matches every weekend. Time is money.
Absolutely.
Wasted time in the reloading room is not an option.
And think of it having set up for lot A of 6 GT brass, and then you want to load 6.5 Creedmoor large pocket over here, and those 2 guns are set up with their loads. I would want to have them set up the same way.
Awesome. Well, let's pivot again to that next piece for the reloader, talking bullets. And we've got some really cool bullets in this lineup. Now, we've got some that you've probably heard of before that we do need to talk about, and that's the Aero Match line. Now, we announced that last year. It's done really well for us. You'll see it in the new product lineup for 2026 because due to, I'm guessing, popular customer demand, Jace, they're now available in a 100-count box.
They are, and you know what? A lot of that just came down to 500 turns into a lot of pulls of the trigger for some people, and I even own the fact that I thought we'd start with 500 counts, and customer spoke and said, we really like 100 counts, especially if they're on the retail shelf, and so we made a conversion. You can still get the 500 counts, but now you can get 100 counts, which is the way everybody's been buying bullets for 100 years, literally.
Yep.
And do it that way, make it easy for our guy, and all you have to do is buy a box, and then you'll probably come back and start buying the bulk packs.
Yeah. Well, and like you mentioned, they're still available in a 500 count box and the 3,000 bullet case quantity, the match pack, and the Aero Match bullet, popular bullet shapes from around the industry, same die setting, same reloading data, same ballistic information. It's just an easy button.
Yep. If you're loading that Sierra or that Burger bullet, all you have to do is drop this one in. You don't change a thing.
I've had extremely positive feedback in the PRS field this year from those projectiles. And I shot with a guy in my squad in South Dakota that's like wasn't available. The other boxes weren't available. Got these, and he's like, I'm never going back now. He shot incredible, and he was extremely pleased with the cost and the value of those projectiles.
Awesome.
So
that's definitely what they do. They do provide performance and then the value. When you can get them in a 3,000 count match pack, same lot number, that's made in a small batch, that is the lot. That's the whole lot.
That is
There's
the whole
3,000
thing.
of them.
Yep.
The first bullet and the 3,000th bullet were all within 3,000 strokes of one another.
Yeah.
Unique. Well, moving up to the CX line. Now, the CX, I think most of our customers and listeners are very familiar with that. It's the natural progression of the GMX that was, the 2009 when we came out with that one, and it was a great bullet. And still would be a good bullet, but we just made some refinements. The heat shield tip with the drag variability reduction technology. We changed the shape of those cantilever grooves to help them have better drag characteristics, and then we started coming out with new cartridges and the right twist rate and the right head height, and then the bullet engineers started having a lot of fun with that CX line, stretching out the ogives, stretching out the boat tails, lowering the drag, and we've got 3 really, really sexy bullets in CX for 2026. On the small side, a 65 grainer in 22 cal. What's that one all about?
that one was built for 22 Creedmoor. I mean, it's a long for 22 cal bullet though. I mean, it's a monolithic. There's no lead in it, and it's 224 diameter. So at 65 grains, it has to be long, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it is built for all the speed that you want to give it. So aerodynamics are great. It's built for 25 Creed. Expansion is great. The wound channels and the characteristics of that have been phenomenal in gelatin, especially for a 22 cal bullet. It gets after it.
Really purpose-built for that 1-in-8 twist that you're going to find in a 22 Creedmoor.
But perfectly at home if a guy's going to shoot it out of a 7.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it will work just fine out of those. If you have another chambering
Right.
that has a faster twist barrel, it'll work. But it takes an 8 for sure.
And now the next one, probably my personal favorite of this lineup.
The 25.
Probably Jason's least favorite. This is a 25 cal, 112 grains.
Yeah.
And this thing's going to be doing all the speed from a 25
Yeah.
Creed.
It's going to be awesome. Yeah. We just make fun of Jason because he doesn't like 25s for some reason.
Oh, back in my day, 25 calibers were the bane of my existence. I'm sure this one's it's obviously the best one ever made.
Of course.
So but no, 25s used to just hate me. So anyway, no, I think it's pretty cool. I'm begrudgingly buying in.
You're buying into the 25 Creed
Excellent.
now?
Well,
Good, thank God.
It gives all of those 25 cal shooters out there, and there's a fair number of them,
And growing.
a better option for hunting. I mean, you grew up hunting with a 257 Roberts, right?
But we're not loading it in the 257 Roberts if it
No,
kills me.
I know, but that's what he started with. He started with a 25 cal.
Yeah.
So
And this is just the progression of where we are as a shooting community, because 112 grain bullet and 25 cal don't sound like much until you see this thing.
How long it is.
how long
It is huge.
Mhm.
The slipstream design on that thing is just amazing. And then if you want to jump up to the big one, let the big dog eat, 338 240 grain CX. That was purpose-built for a Lapua with a 1-in-10 twist, but that'd be a great option for the 338 Rum. There's still a lot of wildcats out there on the 338 Rum Plus P and 338 Terminator and all those. This one, huge bullet.
built for big heavy game, right? moose, bears. I mean, that's what it's designed for.
Mm-hmm. But it still gets the same compliments that we've been given a lot of these CX bullets, was the ogive and the boat tail.
Sure.
Just really stretching
Absolutely.
it
And
out.
just terminal performance on them. I mean, you're going to get tremendous amount of penetration, all the weight retention. Routinely with pretty much every single one, you're getting 3 feet of penetration. So anything where you have to fish one up, particularly the guys that are hunting in Africa, where they get presented with, usually not bench rest, perfectly off broadside shots.
Right.
When you got to fish it up, you get a lot of penetration.
Yeah.
Elk hunting, everything.
I like to say these make up for when I make a bad shot.
Yeah.
It's the
No, honestly,
insurance policy.
It is, absolutely.
I know if you call tech at Hornady here, talk to one of our technical representatives, a lot of them will use the same verbiage that Preston and I did in tech, which is it's not an insurance policy, but it's real close.
Yeah.
When you get a less than ideal shot presentation, or you have to go from the last rib to try to get it up into the vitals, that really
or anything with
rugged
heavy
material.
bones, things
Yeah.
like that. I
Sure.
mean, it'll get right through all of that.
Exactly. So a big fan of the CX lineup, just continuing to expand. And there's more people, it seems, going to, monolithic bullets for hunting with really no care that they're California compliant. The fact is they have a terminal performance benefit to them.
Yep.
They really
Stylistic.
do.
They just like it.
Yep.
There's no better time to stock your reloading bench and light up your range with Hornady Get Loaded Plus. New this year, free bullets or free cases when you buy these select Hornady reloading tools. Plus, receive the free HIT Target Impact Indicator. Hornady Get Loaded Plus. Free bullets, free cases, free HIT Target Impact Indicator. Get loaded and light it up with Hornady Get Loaded Plus. Limitations apply. Visit Hornady.com/getloaded2025 for further details.
Moving on now to a newer line of bullets, but quickly becoming one of my favorite lines, and that's the eld-vt, varmint target. The ELD obviously insinuates that it's low drag, long ogive, long boat tail. VT standing for varmint target, so it's got the heat shield tip with the DVRT. These things, great for match shooting, great for varmint hunting, and we've got a couple juggernauts here to throw back to the old term. First one, 22 cal, 69 grainer.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites. Near and dear to
Yeah,
my
you
heart.
might say
Had a lot
that.
to do with that one.
I did. I had something to do with that one. Yes.
Yeah, and for more information on that bullet, jump into the 22 Creedmoor podcast, where we talk really what drove that 69 grainer to be, because we had a 62 grain. We still do a 62 grain VT that's found in our 22 ARC ammo, but it just wasn't right for the 22 Creedmoor.
Yep. So we beefed it up, made it 69 grains, added some more material, and now it works like a charm in that 22 Creed. It's a killing machine.
Yeah, coyotes don't walk.
They no, they walk till you pull the trigger and then they drop.
Yeah, purpose built for the 8 twist that's found in the 22 Creedmoor. And then the little bit bigger one here, jumping up to 95 grains, another 25 cal, Jace, the 95 grain ELD VT and 25
Another
cal.
25.
Yeah, well, and it really, we're coming out with these 25 cal bullets because of the 25 Creedmoor.
Yeah.
Yep.
That one is a cartridge that, it was a wildcat for a long time, and it just became necessary in 2025 to get that thing SAMI approved. People were using it in the competitive space and the hunting space, but largely our competitors.
Yeah, and we've had guys shooting matches with them, and they just really like the amount of speed they can get out of it without the weight of the bullet, recoil reduction.
Yep.
Still see a good splash when it's impacting off target or on target. So there's big advantages there, like especially in the 308 side, right? There's guys shooting
100%. Yeah, it's in the PRS side.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's just a very good marriage, I guess. And we need to support that 25 with different bullets for guys doing not only match shooting, but they're hunting, varmint hunting, whatever. They've got the rifle and in the safe. They want to shoot them.
Right. Well, sticking in that 25 cal vein, the third 25 cal in the lineup. It's a hell of a year.
It's like
for
the
25
anti-Jason
cal.
here.
He's been frowning since
What
we
is
started
Jason
talking about it.
What else do you not like?
What else do I not like? Yeah, let's
do
pick
that.
those.
The 128 grain ELDX. Now, that was launched in the factory ammo when we announced the 25 Creedmoor back in 2025 at the NRA show. Now making that bullet available to the hand loader.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's an ELDX. The listener knows exactly what to expect from that. Now, our last rifle bullet is huge. It's giant.
Yeah.
In
Literally
fact, it's
speaking,
longer than the cartridge case it was designed for. I'm talking about the 338 cal 307 grain sub-X.
And now I'm excited. This is
there
awesome.
we go.
Yeah.
Jason's back.
This is when this thing hits a steel plate at 200 yards, it freaking sounds like the bell of Notre Dame. It is awesome.
Knocks the plate over in a lot of cases.
And they're fun to watch people shoot. We were at an event here in Oklahoma a month or two ago, and you could literally stand behind somebody shooting the subs, and if they're shooting at something 100-ish yards away, you can watch the bullet the whole way through.
Yeah, we were shooting it to 400 yards,
Yeah.
and that thing was in orbit and would come right back down, and even at 400, it was ringing the steel.
When you
It's
pull the
hard.
trigger on the whole thing, it just makes you smile. The whole thing, it just makes you giggle. And when that thing hits, and it expands very well, and it is just.
And everybody's expecting, because it's a 307 grain bullet, they're expecting there to be a appreciable amount of recoil. It's a pussycat.
It's like a 22 mag.
Yeah, nothing.
Yep, it really is fun, and giving that 338 arc legs in the reloading space, whether you want to go subsonic or supersonic, we've got options for you, but that 307 grain are available now, so you can duplicate that factory load below the speed of sound, and you could even use it in something else if you were so inclined.
Twist rate.
Twister rate, 1 and 8. Yep, it is purpose-built for terminal performance, not just stability for that 1 and 8. If you pushed it to a 1 and 7, you're not going to hurt anything. You spin it much faster than that, and you're really going to sacrifice some terminal performance. All right, a whole new line of bullets now that I was under the impression would never see the light of day as a reloading component, but here we are. Last year we announced the backcountry defense line of ammunition, and for those guys going on those backcountry hunts, whether they're hunting in grizzly bear territory or something like that, you want the right ammunition in your sidearm, and we designed a bullet specifically for that ammo, and we wanted it to accomplish a couple things. We wanted no deflection, we wanted maximum penetration, very little if any expansion, and no lead smoke. And the DGH bullet, the Dangerous Game Handgun bullet, really accomplished that for all the cartridges that we designed these bullets for.
Yeah, just straight line penetration. That's the other one, big time. Straight.
And reliable feeding. It's got to feed every
These
time.
rounds could be a lifesaver.
100%.
And one of the comments that we got from somebody back in the smoke you get is all from the lube that's going around the lead that you have to have, but this is a solid base, there's no exposed lead to the
copper jacketed.
It is all copper jacketed, and it is just a hard bullet. And the ammo that we introduced this for has sold far better than I thought it would. And
That's
quick
good.
quick quiz for you guys. And I'll see, this is where they pick on me again. Quick quiz. What is the number one selling cartridge in the ammo line, boys?
I'm going to bet 9.
I was going to say
10 mil.
9.
Ding, ding, ding.
10, okay,
The
that's
engineer wins.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Yep, 10 mil.
10
So
mil.
I was going counterculture.
we
You know what? And my sons are heading off right now to go in a backcountry archery hunt. Hate to admit it, Jace. And they're both packing 10s.
Well, they're using
with
our
backcountry defense.
Black Ops ELDX broadhead.
Yeah.
if
Don't start that.
If there's a broadhead being made in this place.
But yeah, they're running with some 10 millimeter backcountry, ready to rock and roll.
Well, and that really has become
I hope they don't have to use it.
the go-to handgun, though, in the backcountry.
And I'm surprised that people, you know what? It's not just a Western thing. There's black bears in lots of parts of the country and other stuff that people are more worried about. So it has done far better in far more places than, frankly, I thought it would. So
Excellent.
Yep.
So we're making those bullets available to the hand loader. We've got the 9mm, the 357, the 10mm, 44, 45, and then the big 500. If anybody's into shooting the 500 anymore, that's a handful.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, shifting gears now to ammunition. That's kind of bullets. What make Hornady, and it's what Hornady makes. That's what we are first and foremost, is a bullet company. And over the last however many years, our premium lines of ammunition have become the standard amongst our peers, and that's pretty darn awesome. We've got some awesome ammo lineups. The first one I want to talk about is one where we did a whole podcast on it that you can go find. It's going to be either before or after this, launched on the same day, the 22 Creedmoor. And in that podcast, we really said, I think 2026 is probably the biggest year for the 22 Creedmoor outside of the year it became SAMI approved.
Yeah.
This is going to be the year where it really finds its own and stretches its legs. I don't know. It's been a great partnership with Horizon as the exclusive dealer, and now 22 Creedmoor available everywhere. Jason, that had to feel good. I'm sure you were getting beat up on orders.
Oh, we got beat up a lot, but one of those things I have to applaud Horizon and a couple of you guys who forced the issue and Seth.
Yeah, it wasn't me. Don't point at me.
That was another black op. Do we cover that?
I don't know why you guys keep
in the black.
Yeah,
now
that's
he's
right.
in the
you're
ops.
in.
Yeah, I don't know why you guys keep calling it that. Usually I say no the first 3 times, then whatever, to do whatever you want. God, I'm sounding like my father.
But you're right. They were an awesome.
They were an awesome partner. They're
partners.
great guys,
Good
making
dudes. Yeah,
making
really
some
good guys.
really cool stuff, and it did far better than I thought. And in cartridge launches, it will actually rank up there as probably one of our top 5 most successful, which is just an absolute shocker to me. And compared to some of the other new ones that have been introduced in the last 12 months, this one's outstripping all the other new cartridges out there as far as sales go. And it was through an exclusive situation. So there's lots of people making guns, lots of people just waiting to make guns until the ammo's more available, which it will be. Mm-hmm. And again, shout out to those guys for pushing us over the edge. But I have to admit, there's some pretty fun stuff in this thing.
And make no mistake, Horizon deserves all the credit for pushing this thing into the mainstream. To
Absolutely.
So kudos to them. Now everybody else gets to take advantage. And it was a wildcat for a long time, but now game on. And it's just a super versatile, really interesting cartridge, heavy for caliber bullets that just, perform extremely well.
They really do. It's just like shooting the 338 ARC when you put a smile on your face. 22 Creedmoor just puts a smile on your face. And for ammunition, we started out with Horizon with an 80 grain ELD match and an 80 grain ELDX load. Now new for 2026, all the speed. Yeah. It's got a 69 grain, that VT we were talking about in our V match line, doing 3550. And then if that wasn't enough, the Superformance line featuring that 65 grain CX. Doing 3650. You heard that right, 3650. And these bullets aren't bleeding velocity. With these ogive profiles, they are hanging on to speed. So these things incredibly capable long-range target shooting, long-range varminting, and then up to and including the shocker here, I think, is how capable this thing is on your deer hunt, on your antelope hunt, on your black bear hunt. Check your local regs, but where legal, this thing is incredibly capable on those bigger game.
Yeah, you got long, high SD bullets. Places like Texas, everywhere else wherever the 22s are legal to use, great choice.
Yeah, it's going to be great for that. Yeah,
and you can put that bullet exactly where you want it to go.
Mm-hmm.
Because
it's going 3650.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
Well,
laser beam.
I like to say what I tell people. You literally, the bullet hits the target before the gun goes bang because the bullet is so fast.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, not
like
really,
that.
but it seems like it.
Should have called it the laser beam.
Yeah, no kidding. So some other ammunition line extensions, some really cool ones that we've got for 2026. I'm going to start with the 338 ARC, simply because that is, first and foremost, the best subsonic cartridge on the market, period. If you need terminal performance below the speed of sound, the answer is 338 ARC. Popular customer demand here, though, was something with good terminal performance that's supersonic, that just gets to the target a little quicker. And we answered the call with a 215 grain FTX bullet and virtually the identical shape, but made of our rugged monolithic material, a 170 grain monoflex.
Yep. For the guys that want to use the 338 ARC and go hunting and use it with a supersonic bullet, that's what they're designed for.
Yep.
Phenomenal choices too.
Yeah, just great all around. I can't say enough about the ARC. It is absolutely the best in that category, class of product, best subsonic cartridge ever. But sometimes you want something with a little more zip. This offers it. It's in an AR-15 platform as opposed to some of the others. And that's my little shout out to one of our competitors there. But
all right, next, after 338, you look at the 25 cal. We launched the 25 Creedmoor with a 134 ELD match and a 128 grain ELDX. We already talked about the bullets. Now we're filling that lineup just like the 22 Creedmoor. Our eld-vt option in the V-Match line, and then that 112 CX in Superformance. So if you're a 25 Creedmoor enthusiast, or if you're on the fence, there's factory rifles out there. You can go buy the Weatherby. You can buy a factory rifle, and you want to shoot factory ammo for those bigger game hunts, you now have more options. Or if you want to use it for varminting, you got the V-Match line.
Yeah, it just rounds it out.
Yeah, rounds out, makes it.
Yeah, it cements it, quite frankly. Now it's usable for all different applications.
Yep. Yep, 25 Creed, you're going to see that becoming more and more popular, and we've already seen it dominate the PRS
Yeah, on
circuit.
the match side, it's pretty powerful.
It's
yeah.
hard to handle.
Yep, hopefully my oldest son takes his first whitetail deer with it here in a couple of months.
That's cool.
That'd be super cool.
Moving on to a line of ammo, not necessarily an individual cartridge, but a line of ammo that we're extending. You know, we've talked about the V-Match line quite a bit. We've talked about the eld-vt. Well, we've got some fun options in there that really give the user a lot of options, but in one particular case, no good reason, but it's just fun. So we're going to start with the small one, the 224 Valkyrie. Now that came out and it has the appropriate twist rate and it's got enough head height that we can use some of these low drag bullets.
Mm-hmm.
So we're using that 62 grainer in the 224 Valkyrie, and then jumping up to a 6.5 PRC, shooting that 100 grain eld-vt. What's that all about?
Fun.
Rapid, but yeah, fun. I mean, you talk about something that gets to the target and devastates it when it gets there.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
You're in a coyote competition and you need to make sure they're done and dusted. It's a great choice for that, for
Yep.
sure.
And that really was the design intent here is the 6.5 PRC, the ultimate varmint cartridge, not necessarily, but in Texas and Oklahoma and places in the South where they have these really big coyote competitions there's tens of thousands of dollars on the line. There are more and more people shooting bigger 6.5s or these really hot rod 6s with heavier bullets to ensure when they hit a coyote at night, it goes nowhere because that's money on the ground. Yep. So that's 6.5 PRC with the 100 grainer. And then the big one. Jace, tell us all about the 300 PRC with the 174.
Because we can. Yeah. 174 grains going 3150. When you hit the jello block, it jumps 3 feet in the air before it flops to the ground.
Does a backflip.
It does a full backflip. We are not advocating this as a big game hunting cartridge. We're advocating this as a fun to shoot other stuff. You talk about shooting a coyote. You want to shoot a coyote on the moon with the 300 PRC.
If we go back to the moon, they could shoot coyotes back.
Yep. You can shoot them from the space shuttle. But again, it's just fun. And when you hit a large, I got a 1-inch steel plate, and it's fun to hit with the 338 arc with that 307 grain bullet. Mm-hmm. But it practically comes apart when you hit it with the 174 grain eld-vt.
Well, this load reigns supreme with the most violent, fun, cool Jello.
Yeah.
Jello impact we have in the history of the history of Hornady manufacturing.
Energy.
It is just fun. We made the bullets for the 6.5 and the 300 a couple years ago, and we didn't put them in ammo. And we were looking at the lines, and I'm like, "Why don't we just do it?" Neil said no, and I said, "We're doing it then."
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, all jokes aside, yes, it is fun, and yeah, you can shoot a coyote with it. But let's not forget that there is some match application here. You bring down the recoil substantially.
Yep.
You do.
And if you're going to shoot your actual hunting rifle in the factory division of, say, an NRL hunter match, this would be a great option. Or if you're into ring and steel at long range, yes, the 225 match load is perfect. But this, again, brings the recoil down, going to flatten the trajectory a little bit in those middle distances, 400, 500, 600 yards. So there is some practical application there, too.
Absolutely.
Yep. And they're not, and comparatively to your regular hunting loads, these are not super expensive. I mean, they're not inexpensive, but they're very reasonably priced. Again, fun to shoot. Try a box and just, you'll giggle.
Yep, if nothing else.
Hornady Security Mobilus Safes. Discover the ultimate solution for safeguarding your valuable equipment with Hornady Security Mobilus Safes. Offering an innovative modular design, Mobilus Safes can be easily transported and assembled piece by piece in any room. Featuring a full square lock interior organizing system that maximizes storage space with countless storage configurations. Elevate your security with Mobilus Safes from Hornady Security.
So a couple more extensions before we move on to kind of a bigger product launch here. In the 6mm arc world, we did not have a monolithic hunting bullet option. Yep. And we've got that 90 grain CX, and we designed that originally for the 6mm Creedmoor. And it fits perfectly in the 7.5-inch twist of a 6 arc. You're going to find that in the custom line. So for deer and black bear and antelope or anything you want to shoot with it, great option.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And the last one, 400 Legend, or the Legende, for whatever reason. Miles coined the 350 Legende, a Legende.
Somehow. Yeah, and what's the 450? What's it called?
That's the bush hamster.
Yeah, bush,
Everybody knows.
Yeah.
But the 400 Legende, the 400 Legend, there is a huge amount of people that swear by this cartridge, so much so that, Jason, I'm guessing you were taking phone calls on it.
Oh, I don't know if, well, yeah, I suppose I was taking some phone calls, but, we want to make sure that we take care of our shooting customers, and if they want to buy our ammo and there's a cartridge we're not doing, I agreed to 25 cals, so why not agree to a 400 Legend? So for those straight wall states, you know what? We want to make sure we got those guys covered, and it's a 210 grain Spire point, shoots great, reasonable recoil. It's less than the bush hamster, as you call it. A little bit more oomph than the 350 Legend. So we just want to take care of those guys and have an offering.
Awesome. All right, moving on to a product that really I didn't think we'd be doing in such large scale, and I'm talking about Frontier. That started life as we were using Lake City. They had a surplus ability to manufacture ammo. They were looking for an outlet for it. Okay, let's send them Hornady bullets, and let's use the Lake City power to manufacture some really good but affordable ammunition. And Jason, we took that over, and we make all this in-house.
We make it all in-house, and that's one of those things that we just decided we were going to make a commitment to being able to make all this stuff ourselves for our customer and that group of people. And it has been nothing but a success. Our quality is better. Our product offering is better. Our flexibility is better. And it is flat out kicking ass.
Yep. And a lot of that, I have to think, comes down to the bullet itself. When you look at, the rest of our ammunition lineup, all of that is premium ammo. And when you look at, say, the 5.56, I'm just plinking whatever, you buy the ammo can full, and it shoots like it's just a junk ammo can full. When you buy the Frontier, you get a product that cases were made here, bullets were made here, that's a Hornady bullet, and it's loaded here, and it looks gorgeous, and the performance reflects.
One of the things, too, is the way we build everything, we make our own loading equipment, and we run everything in a linear style. So everything, including on our Frontier, which is our less expensive stuff, runs through the same tooling that our match ammo does, that all our other high-end ammo does, whereas the rest of those guys might be doing plate loads. They might be doing, the system that the government uses is such a high volume, it's not even worth getting into here, but we are loading that the same way we load all our match ammo, all our other stuff. So it is going to just inherently be better because all the powder drops are all the same. All the bullet seating is the same. It is impossible for one round next to the other to be that much different than the one before it and after it. It is the same exact way we do everything else, which is what brought us to the dance and the ammo business.
Yep.
And so then you throw in the bullet, and you throw in the cartridge case, and I'm still pissed off because they're too damn pretty to put in a Frontier box. They are gorgeous. It is for the price we're selling it. They are gorgeous.
They really are, and they perform that way. And the only complaint that I've ever really heard about our Frontier line is, I wish there was more. I want more options. I want some subsonic offerings. I want some other cartridges. And so for 2026,
boom shakalaka.
Yeah, to quote Josh Clough.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing. And we're starting it off with the 6mm arc, 105 grain FMJ. The 6mm arc was born from a military requirement. And although it is a commercial success, it's also a success on the contract side as well. And so now we've got an FMJ affordable option there for the large volume shooter. 6.8 SPC, another one of those that it's in an AR-15. The people that shoot it usually do a lot of shooting with it, so 110 grain FMJ. And then a 7.62 by 39. That's still a very relevant cartridge, obviously a historied rifle platform, and that one's 123 grain FMJ.
It is, and all of these are at prices that you're not used to seeing from our normal lineup. They're Frontier priced, very affordable. And the other thing is with the way the world is today, there's some of those offerings that were normally on the shelf aren't there anymore. And so we wanted to make sure we were taking care of the shooting customer on some of those. And the 7.62 by 39 has dried up pretty considerably, so we wanted to come in and cover that guy.
Yeah, with tariffs and import costs going up, 7.62 by 39 import priced ammo is a thing of the past.
Yep.
And then I saved the last two here because they're both subsonic, which we've not done in the Frontier line. The 300 Blackout and the 338 Arc.
So do we just say shakalaka because there's no boom on
Yeah.
that? Is it just
Boom. Yeah. Set that one up nicely. Yes.
Yeah, the whole thing is subsonic's fun, and
Mm-hmm.
anything we can do to make it affordable for guys to have fun with their rifle, why would we not do it? And that's what those are supposed to be.
Yep. Yeah. And subsonic it's just plain fun. There is nothing better. You take my kids out. We're shooting on our little acreage. It's so nice to have. Okay, yeah, Brock's practicing for hunting season with his 25 Creedmoor, and then also while we're letting that barrel cool, 300 Blackout suppressed with subs, and all both boys are sitting down there, and there's no sound, there's no recoil. They're banging the piece of steel. It's just fun, and that really lends itself to just getting everybody involved.
And one thing to mention about these two is they do have copper solid bases on them. There is no exposed lead base on these bullets.
Yep.
It's an AMJ, FMJ style. So for anybody who's sensitive to that or indoor shooting or any of those things, you don't have to worry about that. You're covered.
Completely encapsulated.
Completely encapsulated.
Yeah, that is a good note. So that's the Frontier extension. And now kind of our last product to talk about is a brand new line of ammo and kind of a natural fit and a natural extension. And so for 2026, you're going to see new from Hornady, the American Whitetail Tipped. And that is something that I think we've needed, we talked about for a lot of years, and it's going to feature, as the name Tipped would imply, our SST bullets or, for a couple particular loads, an FTX bullet.
It's our most copied ammo line that we've never made.
That is exact. I didn't think about that, but whoa.
Yeah.
It really is. So, all right, everybody just stared at me, so I guess I'm the one who's supposed to talk first. But
This is your
13.
You're the one that put this all together.
There's 13 cartridges. Difference between this and some of the American Whitetail line, we do have the 3 PRCs in this one, and so we broadened that horizon just a little bit.
Yep.
This is going to be about $3 to $4 above where our American Whitetail with our tried and true Spire Point bullets are. It is the same bullet we have in Superformance SST. The difference is Superformance SST is 150 feet per second faster, which is really awesome. Some guns, in particular, some of the older hunting guns, don't necessarily like that higher velocity. Some of the stuff with thinner barrels or super light guns, they don't like the extra velocity. And so we have forced our customers into other options if the Superformance didn't shoot. Well, there's no reason for us to not offer this to everybody. And we've got room, market's changed a little bit, and we have the ability to make more. We've done a lot to enhance our capacity around here, and so we can make more stuff. And if we can do this, and it's really affordable compared to some of the competition, why shouldn't we?
Yeah.
And it's got really cool packaging, and it just shoots lights out.
And it's easy for the consumer. You
Right.
know, if somebody's not super savvy, doesn't have the tremendous amount of ballistic knowledge, well, you've got a couple options here. What's it geared toward? You're going whitetail hunting. Okay, you've got American Whitetail interlock bullets. You've got American Whitetail with SSTs or FTX. I mean, I guess the instant difference that we could probably convey to the user is, I think the adage I've always adhered to is like an interlock bullet of the same weight as an SST, about 70% weight retention. SST, about 60% weight retention. It's got a tip. It drives back in the bullet, gives you rapid expansion.
Yep.
It's not going to retain as much weight as an interlock would in the American Whitetail, but you do get a higher performing projectile, quite frankly.
And it is sexy.
It does. It looks good. I mean, yeah, the red
Packaging
tip
looks-
packaging looks cool. You're going to get this from 243 all the way up to 450 Bush Hamster. Like Jace mentioned, you get the 6.5 PRC, the 7 PRC, and the 300 PRC.
Yeah.
And I feel like this ammo line, like you said, it's the most copied line of ammo we never made. I feel like over the years since I've been involved here at Hornady, the SST is a fantastic bullet, and maybe we internally kind of lost sight of where that bullet belongs in custom or Superformance, or where does it go? And this is now a home where you can really feature one of our more iconic bullet designs, and let's not gloss over the terminal performance of an FTX and an SST.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a great choice.
Absolute stomper.
Yep, it really is. And so for the user, you see American Whitetail tipped on the shelf in the name of what you can use it for. Africa Plains game is a big one. anything really in North America with the appropriate bullet weight. Fast.
It is fun to travel overseas and see people hunting
Other stuff.
or native to that country, hunting with American whitetail in like Africa or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was definitely a good way to get a home for those SST bullets and to get another option for the PRCs.
Mm-hmm.
Those were historically available match, precision hunter,
Yep.
and maybe outfitter.
Right.
But past that, there really wasn't any other options unless you were hand loading.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So all of them, again, extremely affordable, fit a nice niche. I think everybody's going to be really happy with these.
All right, guys. Obviously, 2026, an exciting year here at Hornady. Always innovating. That seems to be the common culture here. And I hope our user and our listener and our podcast consumer really understands that we are using these products, and that's why you're seeing the innovation in the reloading tools. We've got a diehard group of people that are reloading for precision, for high volume shooting. We've got hunters. We got varmint hunters. Joe, you talk about killing 15 to 40 coyotes a night when you're going out with your crew. It's like that type of hardcore end user is what really drives the innovation here at Hornady.
Yeah, we like to use what we make, and that makes a better product for everybody to use.
It's all about having fun, and this is a fun year.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It is a fun year. Neil, you've had the opportunity to use some of these new products here recently, 25 Creedmoor in Alaska, doing work.
Yeah, and it was fun to do that. And I shot it at the Hornady PRS match this year, and then to go hunting with it just shows how truly applicable it is to all different aspects of the shooting sports.
Yep. I've had the opportunity to use the 22 Creedmoor quite a bit for big game and for varmint hunting as well. Leaving for an antelope hunt next week, taking the 22 Creedmoor. I can't say it without smiling. I love shooting that thing. It just feels like a lightning bolt. Because the bullet gets there before. It's like ordering Chinese food. It's like, it's here already. It's just that fast. It's incredible. So with that, guys, I don't have anything else for you other than let's keep doing this. Let's keep the innovation going. Let's keep the new product technology coming because it gets funner and funner every single year.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Thanks.
Everyone out there, thanks for tuning into this episode all about the 2026 new products. Like I mentioned, we've got individual episodes where we take deep dives into a lot of these products, so go check those out. We appreciate you listening, and we'll catch you on the next one.